Good morning, Heritage Academy. Our first song today is 287. Softly and tenderly.
Morning, guys. Morning. You don't see me up here very often. I think I've been up here once before for morning worship, so bear with me. Let's start off with prayer, so if you'll bow your heads. Dear Jesus, thank you for this nice day you've given us. Thank you for the sunshine this morning and that we all woke up. And I just ask that you be with me today as I'm up front. Help me to speak words that will reach these students and possibly somebody else, maybe even myself. Thank you for all that you do for us. Amen. Amen. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit today about how I ended up at Heritage. So I'll start off with a little brief history and then go into how I actually made it physically here. So I was born, raised Adventist, multi-generation, normal, Christian, the normal life. And went through grade school, high school, college, all of it Adventist education. And got done with college, went back to college, did some more college, about 9 years. There's a long story there I won't get into, but anyway. Then after I got done with college, I did something called Task Force for a year. It's basically like a student missionary internship in the U.S., kind of thing. So I did that for a year after I got done with college. And after that, I started applying for different jobs. And, excuse me, I applied to, I don't know how many, sorry, I don't know how many different places, and got back 2 main responses. One was, oh, again, I'm not used to being up front, so it's different in the classroom. One response that I got back was, thank you for your interest, but we've already filled the position. And the other response I got back was basically no response at all. Didn't get anything. So I tried over several weeks, months, ended up basically a year. I was sitting at home on my computer, watching movies, playing games, basically from when I got up in the morning till late at night when I'd finally go to bed. Not a good lifestyle. I did a few random odd jobs here and there, but basically lived at home. My parents were providing for me. Not the ideal. And so my mom was getting after me, you need to find a job. You gotta get out of the house. You know, parents they want the best for their kids, and staying at home without a job isn't the best. So I keep applying different places. And one day my mom comes home and she's like, hey, I saw this website. I was looking, trying to find you places you could apply. And I found this website that has a bunch of self-supporting schools. And it has a list of openings in them. I'm like, okay, self-supporting, I don't know much about that. I've been in the normal, traditional conference schools growing up. Had heard about, I think, 1, maybe 2 self-supporting schools ever, and Heritage wasn't one of them, although Little Creek was. So my dad knew people that went to Little Creek, so I'd heard the name, didn't know much about it, knew it was very conservative. That's about it. So I looked through these different schools and didn't really find anything that was my particular area, but I did find something that had an assistant deaning position open, and it was at Heritage. So I decided, why not? I've worked with kids, done Pathfinders. You know, I was a kid. I could probably do that fairly easily, little did I know. It's not as easy as you might think. So I decided to apply to Heritage. It was a Sunday morning, and my family was about to go to town to go get some stuff for the yard, or I don't remember exactly, it's been a while. So I applied and didn't think anything about it, figured, oh, I just won't hear anything, or they'll already have it filled, or whatever. Went about my day. That evening, came back, checked my email, and apparently I had received a response within half an hour of sending the application from Miss Debbie, who was here on a Sunday morning working, and that was my first sign. The first thing, within half an hour on a Sunday morning to get a response. It was really a simple response. It was, are you married? Do you have any kids? I'm like, that's kind of a weird thing to ask, but okay. I responded back Sunday night, no, I'm not married, and no, I don't have any kids either. Didn't think much about it. Okay, whatever. Went about my day, did my normal, sit on the computer, whatever. And about Tuesday mid-morning, I got a phone call. And it was the Bakers. They were driving somewhere, and they were just called to do a little phone interview, or so I assumed. And they asked me a couple of very basic questions. Basically, was I interested legit in the job? And not much beyond that. And then they're like, well, we're about to drive through an area without cell signal here in Tennessee. That happens a lot. So then they said, we'll give you a call back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, so tomorrow they'll call me and interview me. That sounds reasonable. Okay. And so, again, I didn't think much about it. Thought, okay, maybe I'll have an interview, and went on about my day again. Wednesday morning, I get a call back, and it was basically, the board met last night, and we decided to offer you the job. How soon can you be here? And it was just, to me, that whole experience, there's more to it that I found out later from Miss Debbie. I'll share that in a minute or two. But for me, I'm like, I've been applying, and I've been getting nowhere. And a lot of prayer, I know, my mom especially, my grandma, my whole family, praying. Nowhere. No doors opening, nothing happening. And kind of getting, okay, is this really what I'm supposed to do kind of feeling. And then all of a sudden, I apply, and the door just basically slams wide open. Like, there's not any easier that it could get that I'm aware of than what happened to me for getting hired here. And to me, that was just a major sign that God had a plan for me here. He was making it where I couldn't go somewhere else so that I would end up here. And just everything worked out that I ended up here. And it's been great. I've turned my life around from playing video games all the time to playing video games sometimes. Having something to do with my life other than being on my computer. Honestly, I was getting bored with it. I'm like, I'm just doing this day in, day out. It's boring. There's got to be something better. And doing things for yourself is never going to be the fulfillment that doing things for others can give you. Let's see, going back to some of the other things that I found out later, behind the scenes about me getting hired here, Miss Debbie told me later that they had gotten my application. She was here on a Sunday morning, trying desperately to find somebody to fill positions, because there were several openings that year, and got my email, looked through the references, the resume, whatever. It looked good. Monday morning, she started calling my references. Normally, that's a process. It could take a couple weeks a lot of times. People don't answer the phone. They don't respond back if you email them, whatever it was. She said that every single one of the references that I put down answered, communicated back that same day. And that just doesn't happen. And so to her and to the school, that was a major sign that this is supposed to be working out this way. And I found out later that that happened, and it was just overall just a really amazing experience. This kind of went a little faster than I thought it would, so I don't have a whole lot more to say. I've been here, I think this is the end of my 8th year, and I love it at this school. It's been great. The programs here are awesome. The disaster response is probably one of the biggest reasons I stay here. Just, again, getting to go and do things for other people, to impact other lives. It just, you don't find it the same way, to the same extent, anywhere else that you'll go. Growing up, Adventist schools, conference schools, you don't have this same type of experience. This school is so much more mission-oriented, help others, do things for other people, that it's not the normal. It's so beyond everything else that's like, I don't want to go anywhere else because they don't do what we do here. Anyway, just my thoughts, and I guess I'll probably just end a little bit early today because I'm sure y'all are probably ready for breakfast. I am. So, enough listening to my talking. So, let's close with prayer. If you'll bow your heads again. Dear Jesus, thank you again for this great day. Thank you for the opportunity to share where I came from a little bit and just to maybe say something meaningful to these students. I ask that you just be with us today and tomorrow as we're getting ready to take a little bit of a break and help help us to finish strong, get the things that we need to done and accomplished, and just remember to put you first. Thank you again for all that you do for us. Amen.